What's up, garden family? This is Raj, and I'm coming back at y'all with a brand new video. Now today, I went ahead and took a trip to West Palm Beach, and I built a new garden for one of my clients. She's in love with this garden, and I'm going to show you exactly how we get down to earth with this one, all right? Now this garden specifically is really on wheels, y'all. Look at this. Now I'm going to show you exactly what we got going on, so just stay tuned, and we just going to dive right into it. Okay, guys, so as I mentioned, this vegetable garden is on wheels. You can't see them, but it's underneath the garden bed, all right? So we put 6 wheels underneath this garden bed, 2 on each side and 2 in the middle. So as far as the dimensions goes, it's 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 2 feet high. It's really good for the height, so that way you don't have to bend down as much, especially like for people who have back injuries. This is really good for that. Now, if you have a patio space that have pavers, if you have concrete, you can definitely move this garden without no problem, even when it's full, okay? So we got some black cow, we got some topsoil, and we got some Dr. Earth organic fertilizer that we're gonna use for this garden. So here's our plants that we're gonna use. We got kale, we got mustard greens, we got tomatoes and all. So the first thing that I need to do for my client is go ahead and put the soil into the garden bed. So as you can see, I went to Home Depot and I grabbed this topsoil. Now this topsoil is chemical free. It doesn't have any issues as far as growing your vegetables or anything like that. And it's pretty lightweight for the most part. But this is the best thing I can do because I don't want to add too much weight to this garden, like I said. Now usually I do use peat moss, but I guess peat moss is just not available anymore. Peat moss is definitely lightweight, so usually I add half peat moss and half topsoil or potting soil for these type of garden beds, all right? But since there's no more of that, we can just use 16 bags of these topsoils for this garden, all right? So I'm just adding it as I go, and I'm smoothing it down, just leveling it, so that way we can add some more bags to it, okay? So just check out this process, and if you have a garden just like this, let this be a learning experience for you too as well on how easy it is to go ahead and set up your garden, all right? All right, y'all, so now that we have the potting soil / topsoil in the garden bed, so now it is time to use the black cow and the Dr. Earth organic fertilizer, okay? So before we do that, since I don't have my wheelbarrow, I can't really mix this up. We will have to mix this up in the bed. So go ahead and dump your black cow manure. Go ahead and use some gloves if you want to, but you definitely want to just spread this out on all corners of your garden, so that way you're touching every surface area, all right? So once you finish doing that, then just go ahead and get the Dr. Earth organic fertilizer, the powder form, and you want to do the same thing. You want to go ahead and just sprinkle from side to side, and then the main thing that you want to do once you finish dumping the whole bag out, you want to go ahead and take your hands or take a shovel or a hand shovel and just smooth it in there. After you smooth it in there, then you can go ahead and start working it by tossing and turning the compost and mixing it together with the Dr. Earth fertilizer, okay? So go ahead and take some time to do that, and just make sure you get every corner, because we want to make sure that your vegetable plants have enough food in this garden. Now, to know how many times you need to do this, I usually do this only once every 3 months after you have done this the first time. Okay guys, so now that we prepared the soil, we got the nutrients, we got the compost into the ground, now the next thing I need to do is go ahead and plant. Okay, so in this part right here of the video, I'm basically demonstrating and showing her what she need to know about planting her vegetable, how far apart, and the actual overall care. So this is just me explaining it to her, and then I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate on how to do so, and then she's just gonna follow along basically on what I'm doing. So it's a 1, 2, 3 easy step that I'm showing, and I want her to be able to grasp all the information that I'm transferring to her, okay? So once she understands what to do, I want to see exactly if she pretty much received the information well by demonstrating for herself. Now, definitely when it comes to me teaching my clients, you are definitely going to be getting down and dirty. So make sure you pick up your gloves, make sure you got an apron or something, because you definitely going to get in this garden, all right? All right, you guys, so the next step of this garden is to go ahead and start mulching. And as you can see, I went ahead and got some mulch, and I just threw it in the bag for her, so that way it's easy for her to go ahead and spread it out. So what she's doing is she's carefully applying the mulch around her babies, so that way they can go ahead and start growing. They got their protection. They definitely going to stand up better with the mulch around them. It's going to help keep the moisture in, and definitely over time, once it breaks down, it's going to become nutrients for their plants. All right, so she's just taking her time. She got that nice garden touch, as you can see. Look how nice and gentle she is. I'm very happy for her already. She understood this process without no problem. All right, you guys, so we pretty much made it to the end. The last thing that she needed to do is go ahead and water her babies. And as you can see, she's having fun with the water. It's on a gentle setting, so it's not too much pressure for the plants. It's just enough so that way it can go ahead and penetrate through the soil and whatnot, all right? So this is pretty much what the garden looks like. And like I said, now that the garden is fully filled with soil and her plants, it still be able to be moved out the way. So anytime she feel like, okay, this side is getting too much sun, she can push it to a side where it gets a little bit more shade. Or if she just want to change up the style of her backyard or her patio, she can do so without no problem. And as you can see, it does got a little weight to it, but she definitely loves this because she can go ahead and take the time, and she says she like to do a little exercise with this. So I think that's pretty cool, and definitely she loves the way you can go ahead and move this around, all right? So that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. If you made it to the end, you are definitely a real one. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you need a garden, and if you're in the southeast portion of Florida, hit me up. I'll build a garden for you, and I'll definitely teach you how to grow. See you.